know what to say. It's just savage. Absolutely savage.
Would you do it again?
Not sure. Ask me in 10 minutes after some food. Well, that was how the day ended, but this is how it started. It's race day! You really don't want to do it today. It's cold, so 6 degrees this morning as I left home. Weather is going to be okay apparently according to my forecast, which hasn't been right all year, so let's see. Right, this is the Yorkshire 3 Peaks Cyclo-Cross race 2024. Right, sign on time. I've got my bike. Okay, sign on done. I've got my number 227. Got my dibber as well. It's fresh out there. Goodness me, it's cold. I'm starting to question, do I like riding bikes? It's like, oh, anyway, I'm sure it'll be a fantastic day. But I'm not going to bother taking the GoPro, I don't think. I'm going to make it life easy for myself and just enjoy the ride. It just adds a whole layer of stress that really I don't want to, have. This is a brief overview of my 2024 Three Peaks race. As I said there, I didn't take a GoPro. It just complicates things, and I would normally ride with a bar bag or a frame bag which I can stow my GoPro easily, but this time I was carrying a hydration pack or a rucksack because I was going to be carrying my bike on my shoulder. It just wasn't going to work. So I rode with the pack from the start all the way to the bottom of Simon's Fell, and then the string of riders carried on up that fell, and I was towards the back of the pack, not rushing, not getting excited, but also had failed to get any advantage or position on the road, which meant I was at the back of the pack. So I carried the bike up Simon's Fell, over Ingleborough. On the descent I was amazed that you have to get off your bike for some of the descending because it's so rough. And then rattled on through Cold Coats and then straight through Ingleton or round the edge of Ingleton and then up over past the White Scar Caves towards Whernside. And that's where I was starting to fatigue. I stopped and had some food. I wasn't actually riding. Yeah, it was a stop. I was not riding whilst eating. I physically pulled over to the side of the road, whipped my rucksack off, I took some Turkish Delights, I took a couple of gels with me. So I ate some various things on the way to Whernside and then joined a procession of about 6 or 7 riders, and we all trudged up with our bikes and our backs up these steps up to Whernside, which was for me I think the best descent. So when you come over Whernside, it's really rocky and muddy. I had a couple of little step-offs, I guess they call them, where I just stepped over the front of the bikes. It was so steep and so rutty. And then people were running down the side of the paving, so there was these Yorkshire paving slabs, and I joined them. I was running down the side because it looked so slippy, and then it's like, oh dude, running down paving slabs, I've got a bike. So I took a bravery pill and got on my bike and tentatively went down these paving slabs, which were so slippy. I understand why everybody was running with their bikes down them until each rain bar. Then I jumped off because I didn't dare try and bunny hop a rain bar because of just slipping off my bike. That was great. I saw Pete, who was taking these photographs, and yeah, thanks to Pete for taking my pictures and everybody else's that he did. They were awesome. I did actually stop and say hello. I wasn't in a rush. Rattled down to Ribblehead, saw my wife.
You saw Pete come through?
Yeah, he's just up there now. I say just up there, it's quite a long way up.
Best bit?
Best bit? Seeing you guys, obviously. Yeah. You know the guy that we saw here last year?
Yeah.
With the kissed his wife?
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I was chatting to him on Ingleborough. Cool as a cucumber.
So you've come off twice?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and had an epic save. Absolutely awesome. We could have a bar of a cereal bar, please.
You don't want any layers, Dad?
No, I'm alright, sir. You open it. Captured this footage of me, well, starting to fall apart big time, and then I rode on to Pen-y-Ghent. I hadn't studied the route. I didn't realise how big Pen-y-Ghent was. I saw it, asked somebody, are we going up there? They said yes, and it literally, well, it didn't break my heart, it was crushing. There was a guy that I'd seen on the start line he actually bailed just after I'd asked this person, I think down to injury, or he was done. And it is brutal, absolutely brutal. Trudged up there, could have had a much bigger cassette on the back of this bike because I hadn't got the legs. If I'd had a bit more fuel, I might have been able to muscle some of it, but with a bigger ring on the back, I would have been able to hopefully just crawl up some of the steeper sections before you do inevitably get off your bike and have to carry it. Coming down there was rough as, so rough that my chain at some point, I think, and after finishing the event, I realised on the finish line that there was something desperately wrong. And on the ride back from Pen-y-Ghent to Horton in Ribblesdale, which is where the event starts and finishes, my bike just was so sluggish, like the chain was shot. And what had happened was the chain had come off the top of the jockey wheel at the back of the rear mech. And so it wasn't actually running smoothly around that wheel. It was wedged in between the wheel and the frame and consequently, well, jiggered the jockey wheel and put a big groove down the side of the chain. The top of the cage for the rear mech had opened up somehow and the chain was wedged down the side. So when I finished the event, I was like, something wrong with the bottom bracket, it wasn't going round very well. Anyway, I finished the event. It was absolutely shocking. The reason the wheels fell off is because I didn't have breakfast. Yeah. Pretty stupid, but I just forgot. I intermittent fast. Usually, I wake up in the morning, have a coffee, do my workout, take the dog out, do all the things that I normally do, and I don't eat. And I don't eat until usually after most people's lunchtime, sort of like 1:30, 2 o'clock, just because I've played with it and that's what happens. And I'm in such a routine, and maybe I wasn't taking this event very seriously, I just didn't eat. And so when I started eating all this sugary super energy food, it was going into somebody that had got nothing in them. I was empty. I was absolutely spent. You know, any glycogen from the days before. Again, I hadn't sort of taken on loads of food and fluid the days before because I just obviously wasn't taking it very seriously. And I've since had my fingers burnt, and I realised that yeah, it's a big event. There's a reason why it's called the toughest cyclocross race in the UK. It's just brutal, absolutely brutal. But now looking back, I enjoyed it. I made some monumental mistakes. Didn't eat, didn't get any mileage in this year really for training. The bike, now I know what the crack is with the bike. I need to sort out tyre pressures because I was running tyre pressures that were way too hard. So hard that my arms were shot. I felt like my teeth were going to fall out. I was getting shaken to bits so much on the last descent. And that's probably why this chain bounced out of the already bent rear cage on the rear mech. So anyway, there's my excuses. Hopefully I'll get in next year. If you want to see the prep that I did on this bike for this event, this is the video that you need to go and watch. The details for that are in the description below. If you don't already, subscribe. It helps me, it helps the channel, and it gives me motivation to carry on doing it because I've been a bit sporadic this year, and I'll apologise now for anybody who does watch the channel regularly. I'm sorry that I've just not been on it, but there is something around the corner which hopefully might motivate me. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, share it with a friend, a family member or even a stranger, and I'll see you in the next video.